Thank you for this meaningful award. And thanks also to the Greater Missouri Leadership Foundation for the inspiration and professional development you've given to women over the years. I've found that I've had different role models at various stages of my life. When I was growing up in the 30s and 40s, my mother was my first role model. She owned and operated 2 successful hair salons at a time most women didn't work outside the home. I learned from her example that you give every task you undertake 110%. But at the time, I wanted to be a writer, though I have to admit I kept that to myself. I didn't know any writers or reporters, so my role model became Lois Lane, the newspaper reporter and Superman's sidekick. Over the years, I wrote humorous skits, cookbooks, newspaper articles, and essays. But it wasn't until I was First Lady of Missouri during the 90s that I wrote and published my first book, a coffee table-sized history of the Missouri Mansion and its occupants. I thought I could do it in 6 months, but it took me 5 years. One of the executives at the publishing company said, "Whoever helped you with this book did a great job." I restrained myself as best I could and replied, "I wrote every word and designed the cover and the page layout." I don't think he ever believed me. My writing took a different turn after my husband and son's death in a plane crash when he was running for the U.S. Senate. Because it was only 3 weeks to the election and ballots had been printed, his name was still on the ballot. People went out and voted for him anyhow. And I went to the U.S. Senate in his place until the next election was held. During that time, I know I was a frustration to my speechwriter because I always wanted to write my own speeches. But in time, we learned to collaborate. When I returned to Missouri, I took up writing again. First as a political blogger, then I did an autobiography and several humorous and motivational books, even a romantic comedy. And now I write nearly every day online at my food blog, Good Food STL. As I've gotten older, I hope to be 90 this year, I discovered yet another wonderful career opportunity as an encourager. The new work is fascinating, but it requires me to brush up on my awareness and sensitivity. In my latest vocation as an encourager, I get to point out to my kids, grandkids, friends, public servants, store clerks, total strangers, something they've done right. This sometimes takes effort, but I'm improving. I might mention that over the years, I've updated my role model. I've added one. My current role model is now my daughter, Robin. She's my inspiration. I watched her cope with difficult challenges and take on overwhelming tasks and never give up. I want to be like my daughter when I grow up.